epic viewers from around the multiverse, prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to be revealing the best Lord of the Rings action figure lot on eBay of 2018. Hello epic viewers from around the multiverse, prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to be revealing the best Lord of the Rings action figure lot on eBay in 2018. Hello epic viewers from around the multiverse, prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to be revealing the best Lord of the Rings action figure lot on eBay in 2018. Is this lot a paradigm of resounding perfection? Is it characterized by ineffable epicness and no fastness? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, to my dismay, I made the asinine decision to attempt to haggle down the price, and I forgot the opportunity to buy the lot as a result. I waited for the seller to respond. I was being patient. I should have been impetuous. I should have procured the lot, and there's no comparable lots on eBay at the moment, and in recent months, in 2018, nothing similar has sold for $200 or less. So, as you can unequivocally see, this lot has unprecedented merit. You have roughly 30 figures, and you essentially have all the sadistic, villainous, malicious, malignant, malign, evil characters a part of the Lord of the Rings films. You have every evil character that you can practically conceive, with the exception of the Felibis, and various orcs that were never churned out by Toy Biz. Okay, so let's get started. You have the Uruk-hai, you have the Mammoth Riders, you have the Warg, and of course sadistic Warg Rider. Let's redo this. Hello epic viewers from around the multiverse, prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today I'm going to be revealing the utmost best Lord of the Rings action figure lot on eBay in 2018. Is this lot a paradigm of resounding perfection? Did it warrant its hefty, staggering, exorbitant price of $200? In my objective opinion, it did. Unfortunately, to my dismay, I forgot the opportunity to buy the lot. I was making an earnest, diligent attempt to haggle down the price. The seller didn't respond to me in a punctual manner, and of course it caused me to forgo the opportunity to buy the lot. I should have just been impetuous. I should have just bought the lot without a second thought. I don't have to give such a stellar deal any forethought. It behooved me to be a little bit more decisive and stop vacillating. I don't need to dither. I need to implement my buying decisions and subsequently move on, and not mull over something so trivial and marginal. In hindsight, I do have qualms about not buying this lot. I did technically have the opportunity. The seller didn't respond, but I could have utilized that buy now option to buy it, and I didn't act in time. I should have anticipated that this would inevitably transpire, and this lot got sold out shortly after it was listed. Now, of course, you have all the sadistic, malignant, malign, notorious, villainous characters from the Lord of the Rings flicks. You have orcs, trolls, Nazgul, horses, Uruk-hai, and you have variants of orcs, and then you have an assortment of armaments. You even have Saruman and Sauron, and you have the Lieutenant of the Witch King. I believe this lot also comes with the one and only nefarious Witch King himself. It's quite a sight to feast your eyes on. These figures are practically unscathed. The structural integrity of these figures has not yet been compromised. All their joints are intact, and they're most likely sturdy and durable, to say the least. A lot of older figures have severed joints, but these figures are not marred with dinks, nor dents, nor scuffs, nor scratches. You have a Urukai Berserker, a Moria Archer. I don't see an Easterling, but I see the Evil Archer. I'm trying to remember his moniker. Is it a Herodrum Archer? I don't know. You have the Warg and Sharku. You even have Lurtz. You have this guy, I'm trying to remember his name. I think it begins with a G. Gothmog or something. You have Azos. I'm trying to remember their monikers, they just elude me. Or Asgog. I haven't watched the Hobbit flicks in years. And I typically don't care too much about names. They don't mean much. So these figures are eye candy. They have ample points for articulation. They have high quality sculpts, high quality shadings, high quality decos, high quality designs, and they're meticulously detailed down to the nitty gritty. They emulate their movie counterparts. They came with a myriad of accessories, and they just look fantastic on any shelf. I should have jumped on the opportunity to buy the lot. I am irritated and agitated about this whole situation. Distraught has ensued, and I just have to concede to reality and just be accepted that I'll never be able to procure these figures, and they'll likely be relegated to someone else's totes and basement. The Nazgul I don't care too much about. I already have them, and you're only supposed to have 9. Of course you can have more, but there's supposed to be 9 undead kings. The trolls are excellent for army building. I already have these orc commanders. I already have Sauron. He's supposed to be an individual character, but I perceive this lot to have far more value than $200. You have a copious amount of army builder figures. This particular Urukai torch bearer or torch wielder figure is considerably rare, I believe. I'm not too concerned about the Urukai. I already have a bunch of them, but I could always utilize more goblins and orcs and archers and mammoth riders and wargs. So I essentially would have bought the lot. To procure the trolls, the warg, the archer, the goblins, the berserker, and of course more of the Urukai and the orc variants. We even have an Isengard orc. The other action figures just would have been icing on the cake. Would have been icing on the cake. Not if I said cake, if I said cape, I apologize about the faux pas. Yeah, they would have been icing on the cake, because the non-army builder figures are not meant to have clones of them displayed on the shelves that are homogeneous to those individual characters. So, fantastic lot, stellar deal. I've lost this lot forever. There's nothing I can do. I have no recourse. He's not responding to me, but it is what it is. So, whoever got this lot is one lucky son of a glitch, and this is by far the utmost best Lord of the Rings action figure lot on eBay in 2018. He bought roughly 30 to 31 figures, with 3 of them being colossal, hefty, massive trolls for $200. And he also got a bunch of horses, kind of warg. So I need to stop holding on this, stop dwelling on negativity, stop harping on negativity, move on, cut my losses, and just accept that it is what it is. I hope that you found this video to be fascinating and intriguing, as well as insightful. It just sucks, but there's nothing I can do. I waited for the Soul to respond. He abstained from responding, and I should have just bought the lot. Now, I've lost out on these trolls forever. I've lost out on these horses and Nazgul forever. I lost out on the Orc and Urukai army builder figures forever. And essentially, I'm screwed in this context. No recourse, no remedy, nothing except grief, agony, and distress. I hope that you found this video to be bedazzling. Have a wonderful, blissful, marvelous day. Goodbye.
Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today another ineffable...
Let's redo that.
Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to bask in unprecedented glory, because today another ineffably epic video is about to transpire. What will ensue? I do not know. The future is enigmatic, the future is obscure beyond a veil of time, and of course the future is precarious and unforeseeable. So today, just as an impromptu video, I'm going to be making some predictions of the world in 2019, what will transpire. I'm making the arbitrary assumption that there's going to be less arable land. The natural resources are going to be harvested, and economic growth typically translates into converting organic materials, organic compounds, into inorganic compounds. But it is what it is. It is unfortunate. Nonetheless, Earth, even without increasing vertical farming facilities and without increasing arable land supplies, can feed a bare minimum of 700 billion people, because 80% of all food gets pitched, purged, and relegated to the dumpster. So you could feed at least 35 billion right there. Then everyone could become a vegan. It takes 10 pounds of plant-based protein to produce 1 pound of animal-based protein. So then you're feeding 350 billion people just with simple dietary changes, from eating carcasses and animal secretions and synthetic bastardized man-made products to eating only fruits and vegetables and grains, if you will. And then of course everyone could eat every other day, only eat 3 meals a week, and I sustain myself doing so. So it's not necessary to eat 8 times a day or even every day, as long as your vitals are healthy, and as long as you gain the minimum calories needed to sustain having a healthy BMI, you know, then you should be fine. But make sure you regulate your vitals. So I predict that arable land supplies will contract, because based on the track record of natural resources being harvested and converted into inorganic materials, it seems as though this prediction is very likely to transpire. But who knows? We'll see what transpires in the coming years. What else? I'm making the arbitrary assumption that extortion fees will rise in the pending future. There's over 13,000 tax codes, and it's quite unfortunate, because your hard-earned money gets re-emitted to other people against your own volition and at your own expense. You're financing their amenities, their luxuries, and their affluence, and it comes at the cost of your wealth, health, happiness, and energy. So it's quite debilitating and depressing to think about, but it is what it is. You know, it just deters you from wanting to work when your money is going to be preordained to be re-emitted into the bank accounts of eminently wealthy people who have profuse abundance. You know, but it is what it is. And taxes will likely never be abolished. So I see why people are deterred from working. If you can't retain the fruits of your labor, then your endeavors are fruitless. So it also seems as though more overpriced action figures will be churned out. They won't be on par with the $8 Toby's Marvel Legends action figures, in spite of the fact that they cost anywhere from $20 to $80 to procure at retail stores. But in spite of this, they'll still deliver less value and charge at least 250% more per figure. It's just disgraceful, despicable that they have the gall to implement such practices. But the target market has no standards, and they'll buy anything at any price. It's kind of like a pet rock, you know. You just call any hunk of plastic an action figure, slap on an $80 price tag, you know, do a slip shot job, they'll buy it. It is what it is. I don't think that the world will be very different. I do predict that the cost of living will be amplified, and the standard of living will plunge as the wealth disparity further amplifies. More jobs will likely be automated. More automated processes. An individual will likely become more destitute and indigent as taxes amplify, as prices amplify, and as the standard of living plunges into the abyss, to an all-time low. So it seems as though inflation is beginning to transpire. The dollar has lost at least 97% of its purchasing power since 1913. So that fiat currency is practically worthless, and you need so much to buy so little. It's quite a shame and quite a pity, but it is what it is. What else do I predict? Well, there will be some good things in 2019. We will get more ineffably epic, divine anime episodes that are spectacles to feast your eyes on. We'll get more bedazzling YouTube videos. Content creators will continue to churn out more content. We will get more engrossing, enthralling video games. We will get action figures of new characters that have never been materialized in action figure form. What else will we get? We'll get more movies that are desirable, to say the least, that people have yearned to watch for years on end. We'll probably get a host of more superhero movies, which is always beneficial. And I think that people implement more celebrities changes in their lifestyles. I think that the movement towards eating more fruits and vegetables will proliferate. I think that people will be more pursuant of entrepreneurship and remote jobs, just because online offers so many opportunities and so many tools to create your own business. In minutes, with minimal effort on the individual's end, you can create a podcast, publish your books via Amazon Kindle, create a Teespring store, create a blogger, create YouTube videos, live stream on Twitch. The opportunities are practically endless. So we'll get more entrepreneurship in the coming year, get more action figures of characters you've always desired, which are highly covetable. We'll get more amazing movies and video games and anime episodes. There'll likely be less arable land. Subsequently, there'll likely be decreased food supply as a result of less arable land. Taxes will likely amplify, unfortunately. Cost of living will also correspondingly, unfortunately, amplify. It seems like it's very likely to transpire. And based on the track record of recent years, you can extrapolate future trends and see how your life could turn out. So I guess the key is just to put forth your utmost best effort and to spread unprecedented value to the multiverse, and ensure that every decision is predicated upon the adherence to the utmost highest level of morality. You know, demonstrate unrequited kindness to everyone. Always uphold your moral rectitude, if you have any, which you always should. Every decision should be based on morality and nothing else. But you can only do the best you can do, and if you can't afford something, then it is what it is. You just make do with what you have, and what you can afford, and it is what it is. If you wind up being 80 and you can't afford housing, you know, it is what it is. If you force an earnest, diligent effort, you know, you can understand that in this simulation you have no qualms about your efforts. Just make sure that you're exuding a diligent, valiant, noble effort, and as long as you do that, don't stress about your life. Stressing doesn't resolve anything fruitful. It just ravages the DNA, unravels the telomeres, truncates the I meant to say unravels the chromosomes and truncates the telomeres. Doesn't do any good. So those are likely some changes. Once again, to recapitulate: an increase in the cost of living, a decrease in the standard of living. Tax rates will likely amplify, so the individual will likely become more destitute, more indigent, as money is being re-emitted to the utmost unproductive people who are eminently wealthy. What else? We'll likely have less arable land supplies. We'll likely have more action figures, more movies, more video games, a wider selection of entertainment. So at least those are some of the good points. The latter ones, you know, you can never have enough movies, video games, action figures, and electronics. You know, technology is great. So I hope they found this video to be enthralling and insightful and engrossing. I look forward to the future, and I'll try to deliver unprecedented value to the multiverse by delivering NFLB epic videos, live stream content, and monologues to the viewers that show the best action figures that have been released and that are going to be released. I hope they found this video to be intriguing. Have a wonderful, blissful day. Goodbye.